What up, man? It's Rubba Tung.
Rubba Tung, what's good?
Hello. What's good with y'all?
What's good?
Yeah,
what's happening, man? Your battle just dropped.
First time caller and shit. Yeah, the battle just dropped.
I see your battle just dropped, man. I ain't had time to watch it. It dropped while we was on the air.
Yeah. So hopefully we guys get a chance to peep that and shit. I'm thinking that that's going to reveal all and everything, you know? Like, to be, like, completely honest, whenever...
Whenever what? Say that again?
Hello? Hey,
go ahead.
Whenever Ron came on the air, he was, like, deceiving and, like, leaving out facts, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling like, you know, like, as a man, like, people need to, like, just take accountability for their losses, bro. You know what I mean? And, like, just take it on the chin. Like, everybody takes L's in life. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that's going to happen. And for people to, like, beat around the bush and, like, kind of come up with sorry-ass excuses and shit, bro, like, that shit's, like disrespectful to me. You know what I mean? Like, so, I'm not...
Ron, what do you say to this?
I'm trying to let him get his bars off.
What's that?
Bro, I told you after the battle, I apologize to you for not giving you 3 rounds. Did I not?
Yeah, you did after the battle, but you didn't even shake my hand. This is Ron right here or what?
And did I not tell you when we spoke outside? Did I not tell you when we spoke outside? My bad, bro. You feel me? I was in my feelings. I felt some type of way.
Yeah.
I told you all that after the battle. I said the same shit in my live. I said the same shit in my radio interview. I gave you props for doing your shit. I said I dropped the ball.
You kind of didn't, though, homie. You didn't. You like, kind of discredited my material and, like, just tried to make it all about, like, it was, like, this fucking outside issue thing. Like, it was just, like, all based on the crowd, and, like, that's the only reason that I fucking won anything. You know what I mean? And it's like... And
bro, I said that's the way I felt about it. You feel me? And I also said I could look at it from the other way. And I said, not taking away from nothing this man did. He did what he was supposed to do. He came here and did his shit, and I dropped the ball. You feel me?
All right.
With everything else I said, I don't know how y'all still taking shit out of context, bro.
That's not how you were saying it, though, bro. Like, that's literally not how you were saying it.
So hold on. Let me ask this. Hold on. Come out. Hold on. Let me ask this so I can make sure I coordinate this right, because I want to make sure we have clarity right now. Ron had a live feed. Y'all talked in, whether it's through Facebook. I'm sure, I don't know if y'all talked behind the scenes or whatever, but y'all had the conversation then. I hadn't talked to Ron because we both been busy dealing with other shit for like a week. So I finally was able to get him on the show. Actually, he called up, you know what I'm saying, a couple of days ago. And I was like, well, damn, I got you on the phone. Let's go ahead and recap the event and talk about your battle, because I hadn't had a chance to holler at him since all that shit had went down. So when he was talking on here, I'm trying to figure out, like, well, what was said on the show? Was there something that was said that, like, struck a nerve or, like, made you feel like, hey, like, you're not really keeping it real with this, or I don't agree? Like, what is it about what he broke down on the show that you don't agree with?
Hey, to be completely honest, it's not what he said, bro. It's what he didn't say. You know what I mean? It was the shit that he was leaving out. Like, he was, like, trying to, like, put so much emphasis on the fact that, like, the Bakersfield crowd was feeling me more than they were feeling him. Like, that's just fucking sheer coincidence, or just my material was more fucking impactful, bro. Like, I'm from farther away from Bakersfield than Ron Compton is, bro. Like, let's just keep it 100 right here, bro. I'm from 4.5 hours away from Bakersfield. I don't know nobody down there, bro. Like, the only people that I knew down there was, like, QVD, Gray Fox, amongst others. Like, I know Patron by name only. Like, we never really chopped it up. I don't know Real Deal. And, like, those dudes were fucking telling me I was going raw. I got fucking performance of the night. Like, the proof is in the pudding, right? You know what I mean? And so, like, instead of Ron, like, talking about the fact that, like, I actually just fucking smoke boots, call it what it is. You know what I mean? It's fucking, I was smoking his boots, bro. You know what I mean? Like, even if he got his 3rd round out, like, I don't think it would have made a difference, bro. Like, that's my honest opinion. And that's, it wasn't about the crowd feeling me more. I didn't have any, like, home field advantage that he was talking about, bro. I'm from farther away from Bakersfield. This is the first advantage that PNR has had at Bakersfield. Like, how could I have made any ties with 661 in that amount of time? I've never been down there,
What
bro.
league you from? What league you from?
I'm from PNR, bro, but this is the first PNR
what event was
event
that?
in Bakersfield.
Oh, a PNR event. So it was still a home game. It was still a home game from you, even though it wasn't in your region.
Bro.
But that's neither here nor there. I feel like what's happening is certain statements from my entire soundbite.
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Hold on.
Something happened, Ron.
Let's see what he. Okay, hold on. We're gonna get him back on here in a second. My fault. I think he had dropped off for a second. I'm about to try to get him back on here. 1 second.
Yo.
Yeah. My fault. So no.
Yeah.
I think he had dropped. I think he's about to call back up. But nah, I like. So, yeah, what you're saying is like what he was saying wasn't what you were taking issue with, right? You're saying it's the stuff that, in your opinion, he wasn't discussing. Now, is that because the stuff that he's not discussing, was it more so because that's the stuff that happened specifically on your end where he wouldn't be aware of it? Is it something that both of y'all had going on in your opinion? Like,
nah, bro. What I'm trying to say is, like, my material hit in a certain place, right? And had my material, like, and his shit didn't even fall flat, bro. Like, they were cheering for his shit. Like, the most impactful bar that he had was, like fuck rubber. And he's like, I'm going Ron this bitch, and throws his condoms, right? And, like, if that's his most impactful bar, Joe Powers already had that bar, bro. Like, he said, I'm fucking your broad raw, because every time that I'll tell you motherfuckers why, because every time we link up, she throws the rubber to the side, you know what I mean? And, like, in my opinion, Joe spit that bar better, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it gets to the point that you just got to call it what it is, bro, in my opinion, you know what I mean? Like, losses come, bro. Like, people take losses. It happens, you know what I mean? And, like, for him to discredit that loss, you know what I mean? Like, try to chop it up to fucking other reasons why that he lost is, like, have to be disrespectful to my material, you know what I mean? Like, I came prepared to that battle, bro. I wrote my ass off for fucking a month, you know what I mean? And I fucking memorized that shit, you know? And I was prepared. Like, that's the fucking brass tacks of it all. I was fucking prepared, and he could say that he was prepared, but obviously he wasn't if he got into an uncomfortable fucking situation and fucking started reusing his material or having to go free because he was half-speed choking. It's just like, call it what it is, bro. Like, it's a clear loss. And, like, it's the fact that he can't do that, it's just like, it takes away from it, and it irks me, bro. It takes away from my battle. You know what I mean? It takes away from my material, like, because he's not willing to admit that my material on that day was just better than his material. You know what I mean?
But I mean, okay. Now, let me ask you a question, because there's other battle rappers who are on the phone right now who can be real about this as well. Have you ever been in a battle where you spent all that, like you said, you spent all that time and effort preparing your material, memorizing your material, and then delivering your material? Has there ever been a time in your life where you battled another person and said, you know what, their material is better than mine? Have you really ever had that thought? Really?
Absolutely. There has absolutely
I'm gonna be real.
been around. But, like, if it wasn't debatable, then it was actually, like, I have given people rounds. Absolutely. I've absolutely given people rounds.
But when you say material, I'm gonna tell you what I felt. Just off of face value and listen to what you said. It came off as you saying all my material for all 3 rounds was better than what he was delivering, than what he had.
Yeah.
I've never heard a battle rapper. I'm being real. I've been around so many different battle rappers, bro. You talking about top tier, big name dudes. I've been around dudes out here all the time, big names out here, dudes with, kind of smaller names. Everybody. I've been around all kind of battle rappers. I've never heard a battle rapper approach me and say, hey, their material was better than mine. What they may say was, well, the crowd was fucking with them a little bit more, or, you know what I'm saying, or this, or the crowd wasn't catching what I was saying. But I've never heard a battle rapper admit that another person had better stuff that they were. Like, I've never heard that.
Man,
that's just me though, because I've talked to a lot of dudes out here. I just never heard that like that.
Well, in that same breath, bro, like if somebody has like, let's just say somebody has a fucking fire ass bar, right? If my opponent has a fire ass bar and it's really memorable and it stands out to me, I will give credit to that bar. Maybe even because I'm like a half-speed humble guy, you know what I mean? Maybe I might even give credit to that bar before I like even like recap my material, you know what I mean? Like I'll be like, that shit was crazy, you know what I mean? That shit that you said was fucking crazy, you know what I mean? But like I got none of that, bro. I got that it was an away game and this and that, and like he's breaking down like schematics of fucking politics and shit, which there was none, bro. Like, all right, Ron, I get that it is a PNR event, but it was the first PNR event in Bakersfield, bro. Like none of us went in there knowing how the crowd was going to react to anything, bro. Like, that was the first time that I have ever battled in Bakersfield. I don't know motherfuckers down there. Like, it is as even as a fucking playing field as you could get. Like, that's as even of a playing field as you could get, bro. Like, that's just the bottom line.
So, can I ask you a question? Like,
absolutely.
Do you feel? And I don't have a side in this situation. I want to make sure I'm clear. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm on a particular side or anything. I'm on the side of the facts.
Mm-hmm.
If the facts come out one way, I'm on that side. So with you being a PNR, like PNR is your home league. May not be from Bakersfield because that's the first time in Bakersfield. But do you feel that because you are a PNR rep and people know your reputation, they know who you are from PNR, do you feel like the people, knowing that that's where you're from, we're giving you, I'm not even going to say we're gassing you or anything like that, but just showing more love because this is a familiar face. This is somebody who puts on for us, and now we're here, first time here. We're going to let the person who's homely, we're going to let him have, have a little more love. We're not going to be so quick to boo or, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like any of that played a part in you guys' battle?
I honestly don't, bro, because there wasn't enough people that were from the league, like league fucking affiliates. There wasn't enough league affiliates there for them to have that sort of impact, bro.
That's not what he was saying.
You know what I mean? That is what he's saying, right? Like he's saying like people are fucking like half-speed gassing my material because they fuck with PNR like that, right?
Well, this will be my thing. Like, okay, if I'll use a league for example, say LA Battlegrounds, all right? Say LA Battlegrounds goes on the road to, I don't know, they go to where I'm at. Say they come to Sacramento, right? They do an event in Sacramento, my city, right? So they're in Sacramento,
right,
and you have a lot of people out here who fuck with the Battlegrounds. They fuck with it. They fuck with LA Battlegrounds heavy. They watch all their battles. They fuck with all the battle rappers on there. And you have a battle rapper, right, who is from LA Battlegrounds, one of the top names. I don't know. I'm not gonna say any names. I don't want you niggas getting on my line about who I didn't mention. But let's just say one of the top names from LA Battlegrounds of the battle. You're in a new city. Do you not feel that the people, just because they fuck with LA Battlegrounds, the fans, I'm not even going to talk about staffing, but, you're a fan if you're watching the battle. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like those people aren't going to feel like, oh, I'm giving this person love. Like, they done came to my city. Like, man, hold on. This dude's putting on. Like, he came to my city. Like, you don't feel like people is going to give a little bit more love than they would the person who has never battled there? They don't really know this person.
Like that might happen, bro, but like that's not the context that this is. Like that's not the circumstance.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like.
So you feel like it was different with your battle in particular?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so it would be unfair for me to answer that question because like that doesn't apply to this. You know what I mean? It doesn't apply to it. Like. I mean, I don't know, like, about, like, the situation that you just explained. Like, I can't really, like, call whether or not that they would give that person more love or less love or you know, it might be easier for me to decide that it had to, like, giving me, like, a name, like, so I had somebody to think about. Like, in this circumstance, it wasn't like that, bro. Like, this is our first event down there. They are new to PNR as a league. Like, so they don't automatically fuck with our league because we're putting on a battle rap event. You know what I mean? And we were the first ones to do it down there. That doesn't – then they're not just going to outpour love to people that they don't know. You know what I mean? Like, because the circumstance that you're saying, like, those people would have to know that person from the LA Battlegrounds guys, right? You know what I mean? You don't know them. Like, they would have to be familiar with them, not just the league.
But, I mean,
correct?
Because if you're having an event, like PNR has an event, right? And you,
right.
I'll say it like this. For PNR, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be very honest. I'm not the most up-to-date on PNR. I watch the battles, but if I'm talking about, well, who is a PNR battler, I can't just readily call it out. Now, I watch, like, my bro Nex out here in Sacramento. Shout out to him, NXT. He does his numbers. He does his thing. Dude's fire. Yourself. There may be a couple others where I'm like, okay, that's a PNR battle, right? Like, that's our home league is what I'm saying. Your home league is PNR. Sure. If you go anywhere for PNR, it's like an AHAT dude. If an AHAT person, your whole career, you are based in AHAT. You could go AHAT Oregon. You could go AHAT Cali. Wherever you go, you're AHAT. So it doesn't matter what division of AHAT you go to. They're going to give you love strictly for the fact that you're AHAT. If you have somebody who's not AHAT that you're battling, fans normally are going to give you – I'm not saying they're going to gas you or give you so much more crowd reactions. Like, they'll still react to the other person if they're dope, but it's not as welcome like, okay, you can say something, and they're already accustomed to you. You're the home – if you want to say home game, home league, however you want to phrase that, but you're that guy. Okay, we know him. We know his work. Cool. This other person, we don't know his work, so he has to prove something to us. So you have to work a little bit harder to get the crowd than somebody like yourself would, because this is your league. This is your area. Even though it's not your city or this isn't your particular region, it's still your league, though, if that makes sense.
Well, I see where you're going with it, bro, but, like, just, like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, somebody like Patron came down there, bro, for instance. Like, people, this is the first time Patron has ever battled for PNR. You know what I mean? And he just had impactful material, and everybody was going nuts for him. Real Deal. This is the first time Real Deal's ever battled on PNR stage. He came from Pittsburgh.
Hey,
like, people that aren't super avid battle rap fans don't know who he is, right?
Hey,
like, the people in Bakersfield
somebody from
crowd.
the group.
Yes, sir.
Somebody from the group said, why is it so important to give Ron blessing if you already feel like you won?
Hey, you know why it's important to me, bro? Is just like fucking from a standpoint of just being a stand-up man, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you could say that we had that conversation after the fact, but then that is negated whenever you go on and discredit it. You know what I mean? And I took it as discrediting. You know what I mean?
So you feel like his live after the event and what he said on the show a couple of days ago negates the conversation that y'all had.
Exactly, bro. And not only that, like, he went and I wasn't aware he was going live. Like, he did that. I wasn't aware of that until way later in the evening. You know what I mean? And so, like, had I known he went live and was, like, all salty about it, bro, like, maybe our conversation might have went a little different. You know what I mean? Like, because I told him, like, at the end of our conversation, I said, like, no matter what, out of all this, like, you got a homie in me. You know what I mean? Like, you gained a homie out of this battle, like, no matter what happens, bro. And I truly felt that way because, like, he was respectful before the battle happened, you know what I mean? Like, our fucking brief conversations, like, with time limits and, like, shit like that. Like, he was, like, really respectful, you know what I mean? And I paid, like, a couple of bucks to get a flyer made, just like a personal flyer, and he seemed really appreciative of that, you know what I mean? So he was respectful in all of our conversations leading up to that. But then to, like, go live or to, like, go on your radio station and, like, talk about that shit, that kind of negates that fucking conversation. You feel me? You understand where I'm coming
Well, from to a point, but then I also want to make sure I bring this up because outside of that live, and remember I said this earlier, and I want to make sure people understand this. I seen the live feed the week before, like at night. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was going through my own things health-wise. Like I hadn't really had a lot of shows since that event, to be honest, because I've been going through things myself. So when he finally called up the other day, that was actually the first time I talked to Ron, period, since the event. So that was my chance to get like a recap for that event because I haven't had a chance to reach out to anybody for a recap. He was actually the first person to come on the line and talk about the event. Like I have After, shout out to After. He'll be on here tomorrow to go ahead and talk about everything as well. But I haven't had a chance to talk to any of you guys. So I don't want people to feel like Ron reached out and was like saying, oh, yeah, I want to talk this shit or I want to say, like, nah, he was giving the recap, but from his perspective. And I understand from y'all perspective, he might have left some stuff out or you feel like there's stuff that he's talking about that doesn't, like, equate. But I just want to make sure we're clear and we're framing the narrative right. Like, it wasn't like he called up here trying to bash y'all or anything like that. He even said in there, like, hey, I'm not trying to say, you know, too much stuff like how I said in my live, because when he had his live feed, it was right after the event, right after the battle. You know, he was feeling a certain way. He had time to think about it. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. So I just want to make sure we framing the narrative in the right way with that.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, bro, and I get that he's gonna have his perspective from things, you know what I mean, and I get that he's entitled to his own opinion as a man. Like there's no way I'm not gonna award a man their opinion, bro. Like your thoughts are your thought process, bro. Like that's you, that's what you're doing, bro. But like at the same time, it's like I just feel like. I don't know, man. Like, after all the like, saltiness, like, I want to hear his third round. I want to hear what the third round should have been, you know what I mean? I want a fucking handshake from him, or, you know what I mean? Like, to turn around and walk away from a man on stage without shaking his hand, bro, like, that's cool, homie. You know what I mean? And, like, I slide because, like, whenever we were talking outside, like, he went back up to me and he was, like, redirected it and was just like, hey, you know, like, my bad for all that. And it was just, at that moment, I was just like, you know what, like, whatever, like, he's feeling some kind of way, so I'm just going to let that slide. But then after the fact, it's like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a rap battle. Like, it's a friendly competition. Fucking, you know, and if you're not battling somebody that you don't respect, why the fuck you battling? You know what I mean? Right?
Like, no, like, I understand that, and I don't want
to fucking battle with knack lane fucking punk chumps, bro. Like, I don't want to come in and take somebody's fucking lunch money, bro. I want an opponent that's going to be able to stand up to me, fucking talk to me like a fucking man, and fucking do it like that. You know what I mean? And then whenever you're done, it's just like a fucking fist fight, bro. Like, you run that, and if it's somebody that you respect and appreciate, you shake their hand after that fist fight, and you go your separate ways, right? And then that fucking issue is solved. It's resolved. It's done and over with, bro. Like, that's how I grew up, bro. Like, I don't know.
I definitely feel where you're coming from,
and I'm not even trying to get.
No. Like that's why I'm trying. That's why I want to make sure I kind of, you know, bring it back a little bit, because there is something else I wanted to say about the situation. Certain battle rappers, if they had the commentary that Ron had, I might have side-eyed them, because a lot of battle rappers don't travel. They don't go outside of one league. So to those people, I would have been like, okay, well, then you've never experienced a road game. You've never been away from home. You've never left the nest. So, you know what I'm saying, you have to understand it's not going to be sweet every time you get on the stage and you're not at your home league. Ron is one of them dudes on the West Coast, bro. He don't stay at home. He goes everywhere. Majority of his battles, especially this year, none of them have been home. Everything been on the road. I mean, he done been on I Evolve, A-Had Cali. He just had shots fired like in Oceanside going towards San Diego. He was just in Bakersfield. He had the bunker, you know, from December last year that dropped this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude's been everywhere. He's been on West Coast Elites in the Long Beach. Like, he hasn't had a home game in a while. So if anybody could know the difference between certain crowds and how to go ahead and talk about how the crowd was reacting, I would give him at least the extra ear versus somebody else because he actually has been in every kind of environment. He understands how crowds are. If he says that the crowd was a little different, okay, I wasn't there. I didn't experience it live. I'll just watch the battle and gain my own perspective. But at the same time, it is important that, like how you called up and you're talking your shit right now about it, you're kind of getting your rounds off. He did the same thing. It's important to have those kind of dialogues because if it becomes something where one person feels a way and another person feels another way, I don't want that to lead into something else, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to lead into some other shit that goes beyond battle rap. Like, at the end of the day, this is all for battle rap.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that we, you know, I know you getting, you know, a certain way. It's like, man, I spent all this time preparing for this battle. I did my thing. And now it's like there's a cloud over it because of how you feel. But at the same time, once the footage is out, whatever was said beforehand doesn't matter anymore. The footage is out now.
Absolutely.
Now people can get their own perspective, regardless if people believe what you're saying or if they, you know, side with Ron or if they don't side with either. Whatever it is, the footage is there. So now all that matters now from this point going forward is just, okay, who did you have win or losing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want it to be something where it's like, well, nah, this is personal, and I'm not messing with it. Like, I don't want it to get taken there because it's, you know what I'm saying? It's misunderstandings.
It's not like that on my end. Like, I spoke my piece. Like, I just, as a man, would, if I ever see Ron, like, I would expect a handshake, and then maybe we could go into a corner and you can run that third round by me, bro. Like, that's what I'm asking for. At the end of it all, like, the end all is just a fucking handshake and run that third by me.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Hold on, Ron. Hey, Ron, you back on the line?
Line, man.
No, Ron's back on the line. Hold on. Go ahead, Ron.
You're not getting
it's all love. Hey, it's all love. We shook hands like 5 times after the event, fool. But I got you and I see you again, my nigga. But real shit, it was a good battle until I fucked it up in the third. You feel me? And I told you that. And I said, my bad, my nigga. You feel me? Like, real shit. It would have been a dope battle. You feel me? Straight up, you feel me? I said it in person and on other platforms, but I'm going to say it right here when everybody listening, you feel me? Like, I fuck with you, and I feel like you really stepped it up, you feel me, when you battled me. I know you prepped and spent time for that, and that's why I apologize. Like, I didn't give you 3. I didn't give you what you deserved, you feel me? I got in my feelings.
I appreciate that, bro.
Straight up.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, we gonna talk about the battle more because obviously, like I said, we were on the phone when it actually got dropped, and I seen people were tagging me to the battle, so I'm like, okay, tonight I'll have to go ahead and watch that one. You already know I'm doing a recap. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of recaps to do for the West Coast. I know y'all been hitting me. I got y'all, but I'm gonna add this one to that list. But yeah, I just want to make sure. Hold on, I wanted to make sure we get clarity on this situation because this shit been going on for a hot little second, and now the battle's out there. I don't want this shit carrying over into something else.
Man,
that's why we're doing this right now.
My nigga BP
it ain't like that at all, bro.
I ain't gonna say what BP said.
Yeah, it ain't like that at all, bro. Like, by the way that Ron just, like, said that, bro, like, that's just fucking enough for me, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm ready to watch
this
battle, boy. I can't wait to go off this air, nigga. That's all I know.
Real?
I can't wait to go off this air, nigga, so I can watch this battle, nigga. They got me ready to watch this shit.
But see, hey, look, what y'all don't understand, low key, y'all, this is the kind of promo you needed to go ahead and get that battle more views. Like, people gonna want to watch this battle. Like, hold on, okay, y'all been talking this shit. Okay, hold on, let's go ahead and check this battle out now. So it's a blessing in disguise if you look at it like that.
Beyond all the extra shit, his first might fuck around and go viral.
Hey, so I just want to say, like, I got a lot of respect for Ron, bro. Like, that's first and foremost, like, I do. I got a lot of respect for Ron. Like, I wouldn't even have fucking took the battle had I not. You know what I mean? Like, that dude Rarick backed out and fucking didn't want the battle. Like, was going through some health issues and mental health issues or whatever. And I was just like, Ron Compton, all right, yeah, I jumped on that. You know what I mean? Like, they had initially told me a different opponent. I'm not even going to name names because it might happen in the future, but I was just like, I jumped all over Ron Compton. I'm like, all right, let's do that. You know what I mean? And I respect Ron Compton as being a workhorse. He does travel to other leagues, like, and he does fucking get his name out there and fucking go toe-to-toe with motherfuckers in their houses. You know what I mean? I, for one, don't think that it was in my house that he went toe-to-toe with me. Like, but at the same time, like, that's my opinion. And, yeah, you know, like, fucking, the fact that he just manned up and said that that's good enough for me. I still want to hear that third sometime, Ron, if you're listening. Like, fucking, when we meet up.
Hey, we're going to fuck around and run it back in the future. We're going to fuck around and run it back in the future.
Don't use them on somebody else. So, fucking, I hear something, and I was like, that was
everything I use, it be crafted for who I'm crafting it for. You feel me? I don't even think I could do that. I wouldn't even feel right spitting some shit I crafted for one nigga for another person. You feel me?
I feel you.
But yeah, I got to watch some of it while I was letting my phone charge.
Yeah.
All right, 100.
All right, man. Well, hey, fucking, I'm going to let you guys get to the rest of your callers. I'm not going to hold you up all night and shit, but I appreciate you guys letting me come in and talking it up. Ron, good looking out, bro. I'll fucking talk to you guys soon. All right? Keep that battle. Ron Compton versus Rubba Tung.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.